And next up, we have the amazing Liz Handlin. Liz is kind of ironic. It was like Cynthia set that up for talking about what's not on the resume.
I really enjoyed her talk.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. So just a quick story about Liz. Liz and I have known each other for a lot of years. We have a couple of things that I talk about are connection points. Those are things that you learn about people that you utilize as it's kind of it makes them unique to you, right? It could be, something that they're passionate about. It could be their favorite sports team. It could be, a number of different things. And Liz checks all those boxes plus some. I see in the back of on the chair, she and I are both Cubs fans.
Yeah.
Yes. And a few years back when the Cubs actually went to the World Series, Liz went to the division championship playoff or to the division championship.
World Series, actually, Game 4.
That's right. Yeah. But you got me the one when they played the Dodgers. You brought me back the hats and you brought me back the t-shirt. Yeah. And just this showed up one day just out of the blue. And she's like, I was thinking about you. Go Cubs. And I still have that. And I still have that card and the note that you sent me recently with another item that you had sent. You're just phenomenal. You get this whole Ripple thing. You do it so phenomenally. But thank you so much for being here tonight. I greatly, greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me. I was really honored when I got an email saying I was one of your favorite Ripplers. To be anybody's favorite at anything is a huge honor. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're one of these people that I could have lunch with, and lunch could turn into lunch, into happy hour, into late dinner and nightcaps, because you're just so fascinating to talk to and so amazing. And you've done some incredible things throughout your career. But the interesting thing I find when I talk to you is I learn something almost every time about your approach to life and to work. And you have this really amazing giving spirit, which is, I wouldn't say it's hard to find, but it's unusual. People put it out there as front and center as you do. And that makes you who you are. I think it's a beautiful characteristic.
Well, the notion of rippling is near and dear to my heart because as I was listening to Cynthia also, it's about listening and actually caring about people's stories. You can't really fake that. And it's about not asking, your first question shouldn't be, where do you work? Or what do you do? It should be your favorite sports team or something else that's a conversation starter. And when I work on a resume, or really have almost any interaction with people, I don't know why, but I'm looking for some kind of value that I can add. And when I met you and I found out you were a Cubs fan, I was so excited. It's like, well, I can bring back a t-shirt from the stadium. You can buy one online, but it's so meaningful if it's from the stadium.
Yep.
And so I just really enjoy doing that. Like, it gives me pleasure, but I've also realized the benefits of it over something like 30 years. Because when I first started my career, I was at the Federal Reserve in Chicago, and I was a recruiter. And the way I actually started writing resumes is really sharp people would come in and would have with crummy resumes, and I would know that they were right for a job in a certain area. And I would also know that the hiring manager was never going to look at their resume. So I rewrote it. And as a result, I don't know how many people, but more than 20, let's just say 30 people got jobs, and it really launched their careers because they were usually pretty young in their careers. And we've all stayed in touch, and they've expressed gratitude over the years. And so it's just looking for those things. I didn't have to do that. I could have easily said, sorry, you're not going to get this job. And, I liked them and I wanted to help, and, what the heck? Why not? I could do it. And now when I write somebody's resume, and I have a policy, as you know, I only take on people that I like.
Yep.
And I mean, sometimes somebody sneaks past oh, it turns out not to be very nice. But most of my clients are very nice people, and sometimes they're clueless about how to look for a job. Now the internet has confused them because a lot of people have never had to look for a job. And so then they think, oh, I'll put my resume on the internet, I'll find a job. And it doesn't work that way. So, so I love being able to give them advice about how to look for a job or make a connection for them. I just did that today. I found some female mentors for a really sharp client of mine in DC, and she's just, I mean, seriously out of this world. And it's no skin off my nose, right? In fact, it makes me look good, and it takes a little bit of effort. But the thing is that anytime you listen to somebody and find out what their needs are, and you can help them, you look good too.
Yep.
Like being a good manager, giving credit to your employees, you look good. It doesn't look good to hoard all the, the accolades for yourself. And I find it so rewarding and so much pleasure, and it pays dividends. I mean, the way I was able to start my business was I sent out a resume, or not a resume, I sent out an email to, everyone I knew basically in 2004. And there were so many of them that I had helped, or recruiters who had come to rely on me for great referrals. And so the business started seamlessly, and I've never really had too much of a downtime.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The thing I find amazing about you is that, and I've sent a few people to you that said, wow, that was tough love that I needed at the time that I needed it. Because I think people have this, sort of over dramatized way of explaining what they do in a resume. It's either too much or, too highlighted or whatever the case might be. And you kind of cut through all the BS and actually help people figure out how to communicate their true value into a written document that will get them noticed. And I think that's a huge testament to you, but you only get there because you actually take the time to learn who they are as individuals first before you actually worry about what they have on paper.
Well, one of the things I learned early in my career is that people really just want to know, why didn't I get the job? And you smelled bad today. You shower next time. They just want to hear. They don't want to get an anonymous, rejection letter. They just want to hear. And so sometimes the tough love is the difference between getting a job and not getting a job. If it's something that they can fix. I mean, if it's somebody who's just stupid, in the words of the comedian Ron White, you can't fix stupid. Well, don't tell them that, because they can't fix that. But, I was reading your book, and one of the things, I'm looking at the clock because I don't want to, push the time too much.
You're good. Yeah.
But you talked about when you start something, if you get a promotion, think about the end. How do you want to be remembered? And I have this great story. Well, it's not my story. A friend of mine was a commander of the USS Benfold, which was a destroyer in the Pacific Fleet. And he'd gone to Annapolis and had spent his entire career, doing whatever he had to do to get promotions. And he's not proud of that. Well, he got to the Benfold, and it had really been harshly managed or mismanaged by the previous commander. And so when he stepped on the boat, he thought, you know what? All these other ways I've been managing just really haven't worked. And now I'm looking at the effects of poor management. All of these guys, when the guy left the boat, there's always a ceremony. and they jeered. They were so glad to see him go. And Mike thought, I don't want that to be me. So he set up a process where he asked each employee, I don't remember, there were a lot, and it was a kind of, it wasn't a convoluted process, but it did take some time. What do you like best? What do you like least? And what would you change if you could here on the boat? And he got some great suggestions from the people on the ground, and it was able to save money. And he took it from being the worst ranked ship in the Pacific Fleet to being the #1 ship and the winner of the Spokane Trophy.
Wow.
And so when he left, they cried. They were sad he was leaving. And so what Mike always says is, do you want to leave to jeers or tears?
Oh, that's great.
And I don't know about you, but I'd rather leave to tears than jeers.
Yep.
I want to see people. I don't want people to say, gosh, good riddance.
Yeah.
And, your book made me think of that. Because there's so many people that don't think about the end game. How do I want to be remembered? What are the outcomes that I'd like to see from my performance? And I've never thought of work in corporate America in that exact way. I mean, I think about the Benfold that way because this friend of mine, has told the story so many times. But I think it's great, and it wasn't natural for him, right? Like he had to create a process for asking people. But whatever it is you have to do, for me, it comes a little bit more naturally because I'm curious about people's stories. I'm curious. I'm always looking for that opening, like how can I help you? And that's more intuitive than anything else. I'm not trying, I'm not faking it. And if I don't like you, then you can forget it. If you don't seem like a nice person or a poser, the kind of person that does and says whatever it takes to get ahead, but really somebody else is doing the work and they're taking the credit, those people are the ones that I hate the most.
Yeah.
So if I think you're that kind of person, I will not help you.
I love that. And Cynthia just saw jeers or tears, thinking about the end game. Always awesome stuff right there. For that, that's so true.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your talk.
Yeah. Well, I so appreciate. I mean, we're right up against the time, but I wanted to say thank you so much. You have contributed so much to my life and to the clients that I've sent you. You really have. You've been amazing, and I really appreciate everything that you've done just to really set this relationship apart from the business relationship that we've had, to really create this genuine friendship, because you are one of the most honest and direct people I know, which I appreciate and love. And you are the one that will always be there to answer the phone when you call, and you take care of business. And I love that. And your clients highly, highly respect you for it because you are good at what you do. And so I appreciate you, being here tonight, but most importantly, I appreciate you being my friend.
Well, right back at you. And I'm honored to be here tonight. I'm honored to be anybody's favorite at anything. And go Cubs.
Go Cubs. Absolutely. Well, Liz, thank you so much for being here. I will talk to you very soon.
Sounds great. And as soon as we can get lunch, let's do it.
Absolutely. Gosh, I hope it's soon. We have a lot to celebrate. So
yeah, right.
Yep. Next year's World Series in advance. We'll celebrate that.
Yeah, I'm not celebrating the Dodgers all that much, although they did deserve to win. I will.
Well, at 7:00, you'll get to talk to you get to see a Dodgers fan and a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So you might hang around to enjoy his. I'm sure he's got some witty commentary coming for me.
Yeah, somebody just posted. Earl Hager posted. Dodgers.
That's him.
Yeah, I need to shut my mouth about the Dodgers. I really don't.
You'll love him. I'll introduce you.
They're just very angry fans. That's my only.
That's right.
Okay.
Take care. Ripple on, Liz.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.